Hello. So today is January 7th, 2015. First video of the new year. Super excited about it. And this is my voice 3 weeks on testosterone. So I decided I'm going to do a new format for my videos. Instead of just kind of sitting here and being like, oh, well, this week I sprouted another hair. And trying to think of like what happened in a week because I don't remember. And it's going to be really hard to start like keeping track of that stuff because it's already been 3 weeks and I can't remember what happened in week 2 and what happened in week 3. So I'm going to kind of have like a list of things that I'm going to go over every video and say whether or not something has changed. And then like from the last video and I guess like on big milestones like 1 month, maybe 3 months, 6 months, then a year, or whatever. It's just something I'm going to try out because I think it'll help keep my little squirrel brain focused, at least somewhat, so that these videos aren't like 15 minutes long and you're not just like shut up the entire time. So the first thing on the list is hair. Now, as far as my hairline, it hasn't changed at all, but my hair, this week I definitely noticed started coming in longer. Not thicker or darker, just longer, which is kind of disgusting in all honesty, because they're just, it's weird. They're just really fine, long hairs, and it's kind of creeping me out a little bit, but that's been on my arms and my legs. The hair on my face, a little bit of peach fuzz that I have, is coming in faster. Once again, not thicker or darker, just faster. So just really minimal change there. My voice has changed slightly this week. This is the first week I've noticed that more than an occasional drop, it'll kind of settle in a little bit lower tone. I can kind of feel my voice in my chest now more, especially during, like right now it's kind of at its like higher end, but there are times where I'll go for like an hour or so, my voice will definitely be lower and kind of this more of this type of range, but I have to think about it right now, where usually if it goes down to this level, I don't think about it, it just kind of ends up settling a little bit lower, not much, but it's definitely noticeable. It's definitely lower when I yell. I found that out when I was yelling at my dog. Not yelling, I don't yell at my dog, but he was running away from me and I was like, come back here! And it came out sounding like a guy was yelling, and I was like, yeah! I did a little dance, and then I realized I should probably go chase him, which was great. So yeah, sweat hasn't changed at all. I've always sweat like a man. I probably always will sweat like a man. Thankfully, I don't stink like one yet. I'm trying to avoid that, which I know is completely inevitable, and it's going to happen one of these days, but I'm still in denial about it. Yeah, so that's just gonna be what it is. But right now, I haven't noticed any substantial changes in sweat. My skin smoothness, my face has gotten a little bit rougher. It hasn't broken out again yet, which is exciting, but it does feel rougher. My face doesn't feel as smooth, not like smooth as a baby's butt or whatever, it's just kind of rough now. My overall skin seems a little thicker. I don't know if that's normal. It doesn't feel rougher, it just feels thicker. And I'm not the only one that said that, so I guess it's not just like an internal, like I feel like my skin is thicker, apparently it actually feels thicker, but I don't know. Energy. I've had more and less, which is super weird. I've had more when I'm doing something that requires a lot of energy, but I've had less when I don't have something that I'm doing that requires a lot of energy, which kind of leads into sleep. I've been sleeping a lot more than I used to, and I want to sleep a lot more than I am. So I'm currently trying to get 8 hours, which is a struggle. It usually doesn't happen. Usually it's like between 6 and 7. But if you give me the opportunity, I'll sleep for like 11 straight, which I did several times when I had this 5-day weekend that I just got off of. So I slept a lot during that time, and I probably could have slept more, but I was trying really hard to be awake and not waste my time sleeping. Strength. Definitely noticed a difference here. I've been working out, doing CrossFit for the last 3.5 weeks. When I started, I was really out of shape. Came off of about 4 months, my last semester of college. I was like, I don't care. I hate everyone. My dysphoria was super bad. So I couldn't go into a gym without feeling like the scrawniest guy that everybody was staring at, and couldn't tell if I was a guy or a girl because I look like a guy, but obviously I was lifting like a girl because I can't lift 400, I can't bench press like 400 pounds. And so I just felt like everyone was staring at me, and nobody was staring at me, but I felt like it, and I was staring at me, and I couldn't make it through a workout, and so I just quit. I quit, and I didn't care, and on top of that, I was dealing with my, like, senior research project, my capstone whatever project, and that was fun, and working 2 jobs, and so I didn't have time to work out, even if I would have wanted to more, which, I didn't. But I decided I'm going to get into shape, so I've been doing that for the last 3.5 weeks, and there's definitely been noticeable differences, quantifiable differences. My first day squat max to a few days ago, I went up 35 pounds, which still isn't where I would like to be. It's nowhere near where I would like to be, but 35 pounds is a pretty big difference between day 1 and day, 21. There's a huge difference there, and that's a really fast gain. And so I'm definitely not upset about that, and that's my, 2-rep max or whatever, not, 1. But I've definitely noticed a lot of upper body strength coming in with that. Along with that, my size, I've officially grown out of small shirts, which is really exciting for me, but it's also really annoying because now my mediums fit like my smalls used to, and now I'm like, oh crap, am I gonna have to start buying large shirts? And it's totally a first world problem, but it's happening. I was kind of the last couple weeks I've been noticing my shirts are getting a little bit tighter, but then I was like, oh no, it's in your head, you want them to be tighter because you want more muscle and all that, and it's great. Well, I put on a small shirt the other day, it didn't fit. I put on another small shirt, it didn't fit. Put on another one, didn't fit. And they're hanging off of me in the most awkward way possible, because the seam's up here, and so the sleeve's doing this. It looked really stupid, so I just kind of gave up, and I've been wearing my medium shirts ever since. So that's exciting. I definitely have noticed a size difference as far as mass. My shape has gotten more masculine. This part of my body here, I don't know if you can, how far that this camera goes, but right under my ribs has kind of cut more, but less feminine, which sounds kind of oxymoronic, but my waist is kind of less noticeable, I guess. My hips are definitely less noticeable. My fat is redistributing, but it's not really collecting anywhere else. I expected it to all go to my belly, and I would just have this big disgusting beer belly, and that would be that. But really not much of it. My belly hasn't gotten any bigger, but I don't have fat anywhere else. I didn't really ever carry it anywhere except in my stomach a little bit, but not even terribly that. But what little I did have in my hips and butt and all of that, it's gone. I woke up I know this sounds really stupid, but I woke up one day and scratched my butt, and I was like, what? And it felt really weird. And so I don't have fat there. I definitely had fat there before. It's definitely not there now. Haven't really paid attention to it over 3 weeks, so it really was a drastic change for me, but it's gone. My fat on my lower body is gone. It's completely gone. Which, I mean, hey, that's not bad. And also, down here, if you can kind of see, I don't really have much, if any, fat anymore here. I used to have a little bit, but I definitely don't anymore. Yeah, gun show. Woo! Okay, so that's strength. Definitely some noticeable improvements, more than any other week so far. Really exciting for me, though. And it kind of came at a good time, because I had a little bit of a rough week as far as just feeling really down about myself. But it was really exciting to see those gains and to be able to actually look at a picture and be like, that's my back. That's awesome. I got really excited about it. Okay, so appetite. I've been eating a lot, but I've been eating a lot more since I started tea. That's nothing new. I eat like a horse. I ate like a horse before. Now I eat like a horse and a half. It's really not that much of a difference. Self-esteem, it's been up and down, but it's definitely been consistently up since I started tea. The last 3 weeks I felt a lot better about myself, a lot more emotionally stable, definitely a lot more positive, but I still have my days, for sure. Attention span, better, much better, except, and this is kind of another thing, I guess, the day before my shot, and I know this is fairly normal in guys who have bi-weekly shots, but I've never heard of it really as much. Well, not never. I've heard of it a lot less frequently with guys who do their shots weekly like I do, but about 24 hours before I do my next shot, I just crash. Not exactly. It's not like, oh, it's coming. It's not like that, but roughly 24 to 16 hours or so before my shot's due, I kind of emotionally crash, and I just feel really unstable and really dysphoric, really anxious, really just depressed, foggy, weird, just not okay. And so I talked to my doctor about that. Haven't heard back yet, but that's definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on. But overall, my moods have been a lot better. I feel a lot more confident about myself. I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot less stressed. Anxiety has been down so much since I started tea. I kind of forgot what it felt like to not have kind of crippling anxiety about my body, because I don't know if I've ever really not had crippling anxiety about my body. But it was one of those things that it didn't just drop off and I could tell the difference between one day and the next. It was kind of one of those things that's slowly faded, but looking back, my anxiety's a lot better. So yeah, Anger, I'm really not angry. I don't get angry. I'm not aggressive. That was definitely something I was concerned about, was that I would turn more aggressive and get more, I don't know, I guess there's no other word other than aggressive, because violent doesn't really connotate necessarily the same thing, but I'm not aggressive at all. The only difference I've noticed is my reactions to things are a little bit more childish, so I'm more prone to throw a temper tantrum than I was 3 weeks ago, but I'm not any more prone to, like, hit someone in the face than I would have been 3 weeks ago. So yeah, a little bit change in irritability, but definitely not anger yet, at least. And, you know, I can't say what I'll be like in 3 months from now, but right now, nothing. My weight, as far as I know, is about the same. My weight number-wise is the same, but like I said, my body is definitely changing. I definitely have way more muscle, and I've lost a decent amount of fat in the last 3.5 weeks. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as T changes and other news. I did hear back. I'm officially on the waiting list for May for surgery. I'm really excited about it. The schedule hasn't opened up and won't open up until February officially, but I should be able to schedule it next month for May at some point. And apparently there are only a couple people ahead of me, so I should be able to pick roughly somewhere with what I want, which makes me really happy. And whatever the date is, I'll be happy. I'm really excited, and I know what a privilege it is to be able to have surgery. So it's definitely not something that I'm taking for granted at all. And I'm definitely working my ass off to get there, like working a lot and trying to save. It's rough to try and save as much money as surgery is going to cost. The cost should be $6,400. All said and done, but that doesn't include hotels, that doesn't include food, that doesn't include the money that I'm going to need to take care of myself, because I'm going to be off of work for at least 2 weeks, if not longer than that. So I'm kind of budgeting about $7 in gas and, you know, all that. So when all said and done, I'm kind of budgeting about $700 or 700. I wish $7,000, which is a lot when you're 20 and looking at 3 more years of law school, which tuition's about $40,000 for. Yay! So that's really exciting. But yeah, so that's my 3-week update. Hope you guys are doing well on this wonderful, wintry, disgusting Wednesday. If you got any questions or you just want to hit me up, feel free to do so on here or on my Instagram, same username. So yeah, peace out.